Hello again, team. It's Tim Sheldon, Principal, Woodland Intermediate. Back with you again to talk about our transitions. Again, moving from point A to point B, from place number 1 to place number 2, from the library to the classroom, from the classroom to the cafeteria, from recess back to the classroom. So what we're going to look at now is not only examples of students doing it right, but also of students maybe making some poor choices while they're making transitions. And that's all with an eye towards how we respond. We want to make sure we respond in developmentally appropriate ways that are consistent, that are clear, and that get the lesson across about what our expectations are and that we must meet them every single time. So some things I want to call attention to in the clips that you'll see moving forward. First, as I'm modeling, I'm trying to be as specific, concrete, sequential, and observable when it comes to my directions. And I always give a cue for students to start so that everyone is listening and paying attention to me as opposed to beginning their transition when they decide to. The second thing that I want to notice is about how these interventions, when students make poor choices, move from the least invasive to more invasive. And at never at any point am I actually using students' names, trying to cast a spotlight on them in any sort of negative way. Rather, I'm trying to emphasize the positive, those students who are making good decisions, and de-emphasize any sort of constructive criticism. So if I do have to talk to an individual student, I do it privately and away from and in a low voice tone so that no one else is hearing it and the student won't be embarrassed. Now, when students don't meet our expectations, there's a couple of things that we want to remember. First of all, we always want to observe that as a phenomenon. In other words, it's not personal. And as frustrating as it may be sometimes, because we've explained our expectations very clearly, and we know that our students can do it right, we always want to respond as if we were expecting that to happen, and here's the next thing we're going to do it again. And that's a key lever of change for us, is doing it again. If one or two individuals don't meet our expectations, then we're going to ask them to do it again. If more than half the class has failed to meet the expectations at any one time, we'll ask the whole class to do it again for some shared accountability. Now, I want to re-emphasize the idea of how I give my directions. So I always start with that verbal cue that I mentioned, when I say go, right? We don't start before then. And then the three things that I always like to identify in my specific, concrete, observable, and sequential directions are the voice, the body, and the mind, right? What is our voice level expectations? What are we doing with our bodies? And what should we be thinking about? So in this case with transitions, when I say go, we're at a level 0, voice. We're in a single file, what I'm doing with my body. And when we stop, we're going to make sure that we're every 2 tiles. That's what I'm thinking about as I'm walking in a single file silently. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch these clips. I want to thank all of the students and staff members who helped us make this video. We really appreciate your time, energy, and enthusiasm, and enjoy the show. Miss Roney's class, when I say go, we are going to walk silent, single file, and stop every other tile. Right? We are walking to the doorway. Go. Stop. We're checking our feet. We've got to make sure we're every other tile. Your feet are completely inside a tile. If you're not in the right space, then we've got to move back. So you all need to step back one. Every other tile means there should be 1 tile in between. Double checking our feet. Excellent. Double checking our feet. Everybody's moving without touching. Awesome. Class, when I say go, we are going to walk silently, single file, and stop at every other tile. We are going to walk to the first green pillar. Ready, go. sororities class, when I say go, we are going to walk silently in a single file. And when we stop, it'll be on every other tile. We are going to walk and stop at the doorway. Ready, go. Go. Much better. Remember, silently, single file, stopping on every other tile. Well, I really like how the front of my line is staying in a single file. Excellent. The first half of my line is in a single file. Now the back of my line is in a single file. Make sure the middle. Thank you. And stop. Let's check our. Oh, my line is nice and quiet. I'm just waiting on two gentlemen to make sure that they are meeting the silent expectation. Excellent. I see my young ladies are meeting an expectation, and now all my young men are as well. All right, and stop. Let's double check our feet. Make sure that there's a box between you and the next person. Very good. We're all responsible for ourselves. We might need to move a little bit. Very good. All right. Thank you. Go. Good. We're stopping. Silent. Single file every other tile. Our eyes are to the front. All right. We're ready to continue. Remember, we're silent. Single file. Stopping every other tile. When I say go, we are walking to the doorway. Ready, go. This class. When I say go, we are going to walk silent, single file, and stop every two tiles. And we are walking to the NPR. Ready, go.
It's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to need to do that again because we didn't meet our expectations of walking silent, single file, and every other tile. So I'd like everyone to about face. All right, we are going to walk back to where we started. And then we'll do it again. When I say go, this time I want you to meet the expectations, friends. Okay. We're going to walk back to where we started so we can practice again. We're walking silently, single file, and stopping every two tiles. Ready, go.